All right. Welcome to Wizards and Wine. I am Melinda. I will be your DM for the day today. We are back to the Halifax table. Ladies, welcome back.
Thank you.
How has your
Hello.
your week been? Or I guess your 2 weeks since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. It's nice. I got a new cat around, so lots of good times with the
Yes.
kitty.
Yeah.
Has she chewed anything of value yet?
No.
Okay. Give it a
I
minute.
play with her a lot. I got a lot of time.
Oh, okay. Well, that probably will help quite a bit. I can remember when we first got Chop, bless his heart, he decided that he would lay underneath a desk and chew on computer cords. And he quickly learned that that was not a good idea.
Oh my god.
Right?
So Bobby.
Yeah. He never chewed a cord again, though. So there's that.
Yeah, our old dog Farley used to do that.
Yeah.
They weren't usually plugged in, but yeah, he definitely
It's so weird. Why would you want to do something like
I don't
that?
get it.
Yeah, me either.
I don't get it.
We are down a player this week. We are down Cynthia. So Rain will be tagging along, but probably won't be super active. So it's going to come down to Liam, Apple, and Cypress to get us through what we need to get through today. When we left off last week, you guys had gone through some existential conversations with Featherine over in the gondola rides. I want to say gondola so bad because when I lived in St. John, there's a gondola point, which is spelt gondola, but it's just pronounced gondola. And now it's so imprinted on my brain that I want to pronounce it incorrectly all the time. Anyways, nobody needed to know about that. You guys were on the Swan rides. Featherine, asked you very important questions like, how do I know you exist? Is time an illusion? And that's pretty much what the big questions were, weren't they? How do I know you exist? And is time in a world of magic? Is time just an illusion? Yeah, something like that. But it was fun, and you guys, impressed Featherine with your answers. You were able to go toe to toe in this philosophical conversation. And you now have Featherine to lean on should you need any more information. Because as you can see on the screen, the river really does go all through the carnival. So Featherine,
We're not on the carnival map.
yeah. Oh, what? You guys aren't on the carnival map?
I'm on the fighting pit map.
You're on the
carnival one.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah. There's a little L and I'm here.
No,
I don't
you
see
shouldn't
the
be.
fighting pit one.
Yeah,
I
refresh.
see the fight.
Refresh, because I have it.
I did it.
I don't even have that map active right now, so I don't know what happened.
I know. No one else was on it with me.
Left behind.
I'm alone.
You're not as alone
So if
as
we
you
wanna-
think you are.
I'm sorry. If we want to talk to Featherine, we need to go over there, right? She won't just like telepathically speaking to her mind.
Yeah,
She
the
won't
gondola.
Suddenly conveniently show up.
Yeah, she may just conveniently show up. Exactly.
She's a
So
bird.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
yeah,
She's a giant bird.
she's huge. Yeah. Yeah, she's a big girl. But in all the right ways. For sure. Okay, so let me think. What were the things that you guys learned last week? You learned that actually things that keep coming up is that Burley is looking for his brother Hurley and he's not sure where he is. He disappeared. Burley thinks it's because Hurley felt he didn't quite fit in the carnival, so he thinks that he just kind of like a 13-year-old girl packed his toys and went home.
Yeah.
Outta here.
And what else did you guys learned?
I can say what happened or what I remember.
Yeah. What other rumors though were there before we do the recap? What are the rumors that you guys know so far? You know about the failed proposal between
yeah.
Candlefoot and Palasha.
Yeah, and the Kenku.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count?
Yep, sure does.
Kenku that's wandering around.
Yeah, causing all of the mayhem.
Yeah.
Or some of the
And then-
mayhem anyway. And you guys did meet Eliwick Tumblestrom But she's not as important in your story hook as she is in the other group. However, it is an important NPC for you guys to not forget about, and also for me to not forget about, because she also holds some information, and if you guys get stuck, she can help steer you in a direction if you so choose. But yeah, Aaron, can you give us a quick recap of what happened last week?
Okay. I don't have as much as I did last time. I might have missed some,
That's okay.
but I got some.
All right.
Okay. Day 2. Watched a guy get rejected outside the Hall of Illusions. The Goon Squad got. Sorry, I did read it right. The Goon Squad got by a tricky witch trap and made to make them what? And made to make them laugh like fools. It was hilarious. Met a turtle man who's a journalist. He had opinions about the dude who got laughed at. We went to the bubble. Oh my god.
The bubble pop
Bubble
teapot.
pop tea. I put bubble pop tea and floated around. It was pretty awesome. Feasting Orchard was a good time. We got to eat more cupcakes than is normally allowed for the cost. Best attraction. Naturally, Cyprus was the winner.
Naturally. Yeah, there seems to be a theme here of Cyprus winning contests.
Yes.
It's just like
Apple met a
themes of-
little gnome lady studying. That's all I have.
Yeah, that was Eliwick Thumblestrom.
Yeah.
That was her. All right, so
That's all I got.
and you guys were on your way. Is that correct? Accurate in my memory that you guys were on your way to the Dragonfly rides and skipping the carousel, correct?
No, we were gonna go on the carousel because I don't remember why, but we ended up wanting to go there.
Okay. All right. So we will start at the carousel then. Let me move you guys from. Oh, and one more thing, and this is just a side note, purely for editing the podcast. So apologies to anybody watching the stream right now, and just a little bit of business. When we, and I'm guilty of this too, when we do our dice rolls, give me the number. I mean, I obviously can see it on the screen, but like there were times when we did rolls and I was just like, okay, you passed. We didn't talk about numbers on dice. I don't know if that's important or not for people that are listening, but it might help not break like a theater of mind for somebody just, casually listening in their car on the way to work, for example.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So just that note, it was all that really came up.
Yep.
So hold up. If I roll like a 16, I just say 16 without my modifiers, or do I just say the total?
Yeah, give me the total. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just because
Gotcha.
it felt very vague as I was editing it. So I just want to make sure that because I forget personally that we're looking at the map and we're seeing all the things happen, but then I forget when we go to the audio only medium that we still need to convey that information. So just a note. Okay. All right. Yes. There's lots of things to do here. So you guys are going to head over
Yeah.
to the carousel
Please don't play with that cat.
ride.
Please don't play with that cat.
Okay. So as you approach the carousel, you see a procession of wooden unicorns. They're standing motionless in a circular wooden platform. Fairgoers climb onto the unicorn's back, and a female centaur sets the ride in motion. The unicorns shake their manes and creak to life, cantering around the carousel to the delight of their riders.
A quick question.
Yeah, of
I
course.
just realized my temp thingy hit point, sorry, is 7 out of 15. Did we rest?
You didn't.
Those would have been gone anyway.
Yeah, you can
the-
just go ahead and take a long rest. Because you guys all got any kind of damage that you have is custard damage, and it doesn't stay. So
Right.
yeah, just go ahead and hit a long rest for the sake of argument, and
Okay.
we'll continue on. Okay.
Custard damage.
I know, right? So you approach the carousel?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Heck yeah. I like unicorns.
So as you approach, You do see the centaur standing at the controls, and she's watching very carefully as everything goes around in a circle, and almost as though she feels you guys watching her. She kind of turns around and nods her head, and shows you where to queue up so you can get in line to jump onto the carousel when it's time. And she, excuse me. Too much milk. I'm all phlegmy now. Sorry. And she looks a little bit troubled as she sees some of the horses going around. Give me a perception check. Everybody or anybody. Up to you guys.
All right. Let me click the perception button.
Do it.
I have a -1 to perception.
Hey.
13.
13 for Cypress. Ooh. 20 for
20
apple
for me.
cake. Oh my gosh. All right. You guys all did really well. So as you're standing there and you're watching Diana Cloppington, you don't even know her name yet. Hang on a second. You're watching the centaur.
I like the name.
Yeah.
What's her name? Daniela?
Diana Cloppington. So she doesn't look the way that you would expect a centaur to look. Yes, she has the horse part, and the horse is brown and white spots. But she, like the human half of her, looks decidedly more human than you're used to seeing when it comes to a centaur. Like they tend to take on some of the markings that you see like on the horse part of it, but there's nothing about this. It looks like if you saw her like from the waist up and you didn't see the horse half, you would just assume it was a human standing there. There's nothing else horsey about her. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I'm struggling with that one. But anyway, she looks like she should be two very separate creatures, and there's nothing that shows you or any indication that this should be one being, so to speak. She, as she's like watching these horses go by, and you guys are starting to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on in the carousel than what's going on with the operator. You guys start to notice that each pair of horses, there's a name, and then on the bridle of the partner horse in that pair, the names seem to be kind of rubbed off from people, just general, wear of paint on something that people are climbing onto and off of all the time. And you start to see her kind of look a little more, I'm going to say the word deflated, but I don't think that that's what I mean. Mournful? No, that's a little bit too heavy. She just looks bothered by something, I guess, is the best way to put it. And she turns to you guys, and she just kind of cocks her head to the side and says, I think I've been hearing about, you guys are the ones that are traveling around with Rain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been hearing a little bit about you guys. You guys had a lot of
Oh, we're
fun.
infamous.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of fun down in the snail races, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, and she kind of goes, you're Cypress, right? You won the snail race?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and
Oh,
she
Her Majesty did.
well, but you were the rider. I mean, clearly you had something to do with it.
Yeah, she did all the work.
She comes over and she gives you a high five, and she's like, listen, I can give you guys a ride on the carousel for free if you don't mind helping me out with something.
Yes, I was gonna say I don't want to waste a
Okay.
ticket on a carousel, but I don't have to.
I mean, you say waste, I say gladly pay. We'll just call it,
Mm-mm.
for argument's sake. But what I need a little bit of help. And she turns around and she has this little pot with a little paintbrush and some gold paint in it. And she hands each of you one of those. And she says, I'm going to shut down the carousel for like some maintenance after, this group is finished. And I need you guys to go in onto the carousel for me because I just don't fit because I'm huge. I need you guys to go on and like touch up the names that are on the bridles of the horses.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're a lot less happy when their names aren't on there completely. And I've been noticing that the ones without names have been getting a little bit ornery, shall we say, with their guests. And as you say that, as she says that, as you guys come around, there's like a black and white horse, and it's you. If it was free, it would be like bucking, and the rider would have gone off of this horse. But because they're kind of confined in the carousel itself, it's not as wild of a movement. It just looks like the rider is getting a little extra something on this trip around the carousel. But she says, if you earn their trust, they will tell you their names. And then all you got to do is paint it on there for me. And then, boom, the carousel is back to being 100% instead of running at 80%. Like, it's been bothering my heart that this ride isn't up to snuff. And if Mr. Witch or Mr. Light came by, I would probably be in a great deal of trouble. But I just can't get in there to paint the names on. Would you guys mind helping me out?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Fantastic. So each of you do that, and as people start to come off of the ride, she puts up a sign that says that the ride is closed for essential repairs. And
All right.
Go ahead.
Let's do it.
All right.
Any tips on gaining their trust? Like what normally works?
A lot of it comes down to, just being kind and introducing yourself. And, if they do get quite chatty, make sure you're paying attention. Don't let your attention, wander. They'll find that quite rude. And once they find it quite rude, they're not gonna be super talkative, and you're not gonna find out their names. And then, we're all gonna be kind of screwed. Sorry, Robbie's phone is ringing here on the table. I'm just gotta wait for that to stop because I can't quite reach it from here. My arms are too short, like a T-Rex. Okay, good, it's done.
I cannot wait to shake hands with these carousel friends.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah. Let me in there.
Okay. So you guys get onto the carousel. Are you guys going to split up and go in different directions, or are you guys going to kind of all stay together and just take turns riding on the horses?
I think we should stay together.
Okay.
Because I think Apple is a good opener, and I'm a good. I can seal the deal.
Closer.
I got that good perception or persuasion.
Right. Okay. No problem.
I think that Apple's actually nicer.
All right. So as you approach the first pair of horses, the first horse, so this is the horse on the outside of the ring. You read on his bridle, it just says Fortune. And when you look at the bridle on the horse on the inside circle, so this horse's partner, there's the letter B, and then it looks like there used to be 3 letters beside the letter B. So there's a 4-letter word that starts with B. And I can tell you that each of these come from different proverbs.
Buck.
It is not buck. The horse side eyes. This horse side eyes you a little bit.
Hello, I'm Cypress.
Hello, Cypress. Sorry, I'm just gonna match energy.
I'm Apple.
Hi, Apple.
Hey, you're beautiful. I love your mane.
Thanks. I made it myself.
Oh,
And she, like
I love it.
the B named horse kind of like, tosses the mane around a little bit.
Bronson.
What? Where?
It's 4 letters.
Right, 4 letters, starting with B.
Bronson.
It's not. So each pair is from a proverb. One is called...
the other... Right, okay.
Right, so the first horse on the outside, his name is Fortune. So on the inside, starting with the letter B.
Trying so hard not to Google right now.
Right.
I'm not good with proverbs.
Yeah, same.
Fortune bounty? Nope, that's not 4. This is gonna be a nightmare.
Is it
for me.
Boone? Is it Boone?
It's not Boone, no.
Boob.
Man, I don't know. Is it Boob? I don't know Proverbs either, apparently.
No, me neither.
Okay. you can move on to the next group. You maybe just go around and perhaps get all of the full
Think
names.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so
See you later.
the first pair is Fortune, and one starting with the letter B, and it's 4 letters long. So, right, okay. The second pair you come to is Practice. And the
Perfect,
second
right?
name,
Practice makes perfect.
the second name starts with the letter P. There's 3 blank spots, and then there's a CH.
Preach?
Hey.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Practice what you preach. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you can go ahead and paint that onto the horse. And as
And I say, hello, Preach. I'm Apple.
and she kind of like whinnies a little bit and like stomps like very excitedly, and is like,
Oh, I love
"Oh, thank goodness! Oh, I didn't feel right without my name. Oh, I'm Preach. It's very, very nice to meet you. Who are you? Sorry,
I'm Apple Mooncake.
Apple. You know, apples are delicious.
She's
They
not.
really
She's
are.
right,
I'm not made of
yeah.
apples, though.
No, you're not.
No, I'm really not. I'm still stuck on that Fortune one.
It's okay. It'll come to you. I believe in you. And Apple, as you're having this conversation out loud with Preach, you do get a message from her also telepathically. And as the message comes through to you telepathically, it says, I dare not say these things out loud because I don't want to get into trouble. And Mr. Witch and Mr. Light tend to have ears everywhere. But she says, I need to tell you something, and I think it will be very helpful to Rain, because you guys are friends with Rain, right?
That's right.
Okay, so Rain is connected to Zyblina, right? Have you heard her talk about her at all?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, Zyblina is from Pressmere. Actually, it's her domain, Pressmere. And something is happening there, and it's causing that domain to act really, really sketchy. Nobody can quite figure out what's going on. But I've heard that there's a coven of hags, and I've learned that they have managed to freeze Zyblina in time, and that's why nobody has heard from her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal, right?
That's crazy.
I know, and not a lot of people know about it yet. So, be very careful with that information. I'd even be very careful if you need to tell the other people that are with you. I would be very careful.
Because others might hear us?
Exactly, yeah. And this is all like
Okay.
telepathic. So it's you guys
Yeah,
are
of course.
you guys are carrying on like a frivolous conversation out loud, but this is like
Yeah.
a telepathic exchange between you two, okay?
My God, I'm so jealous. Just seriously having a telepathic conversation. My inner 10-year-old right now,
know.
a telepathic conversation with a unicorn.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know. All right, so you continue on to the third pair. And the horse on the inside, no, I guess we'll keep them on the outside. The horse on the outside, the name is Stone. And when you look at the bridle on the partner horse on the inside, the inner circle, you see the letter M, 2 blank spaces, and then an S.
Is your name Moss?
Oh, yeah.
Is
Oh
your
yeah,
name
did you say?
Moss?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Moss?
Moss?
Moss.
Is absolutely correct.
Oh yeah.
So, Moss, the demeanor of Moss changes quite a bit from being, kind of standoffish, to being, again, really excited and, super talkative with Cypress out loud and, talking about the wonderful time that they have as a unicorn here on the carousel ride inside of the Witchlight Carnival. A lot of like propaganda feeling stuff because you keep hearing these things over and over and over and over again when you guys are in the carnival. And Moss goes on to tell you that she has heard stuff a little bit different than what Preach had heard. She heard that the three hags have seized complete control of Zablina. I want to say Zablina, but it's Zabilna. Anyway, it's Zablina in my game. She heard that they took the domain and they split it in 3 among themselves. And together, they call themselves the Hourglass Coven.
Ooh, so they're like Hocus Pocus ladies.
I don't know what Hocus Pocus ladies are, but yeah.
The movie?
Of course I know the movie. Moss doesn't know the movie.
Oh.
But yes, of course.
Sounds dangerous. Thanks for letting me know. Saying this in my head.
Yeah, of course. And she tells you the same thing that Preach told Apple, that, you have to be very careful with this information. Because Mr. Witch and Mr. Light do have ears everywhere. And this is kind of information that, if you know it, could be considered a bit of a threat to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for knowing my name. That just sounded really creepy. Okay, let's just carefully move on. The fourth pair is the horse on the outside circle. The name is Stitch. And the horse on the inside, the pair to Stitch, there is 2 blank spaces, the letter N, and then a blank space.
Letter N?
Yep. So space, space, N, space.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I was going to say like time, like Stitch in time, but yeah, that wouldn't be an
What's the rest of that one?
Stitch in time.
Saves.
9. Oh, 9.
9.
Glad you remember the rest of it because I forgot there was.
Oh my goodness.
I did not. I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
You should
Apparently I know
see.
my proverbs.
You should see the one that's in the book, because I think that was I replaced one of them. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was one, and I was like, I've never even heard of that one. So, okay, so a Stitch in time saves 9. Okay, so Apple, you introduce yourself to 9. And
9, I'm Apple.
Hi, I'm 9, and I have some information too about the Hourglass Coven. Do you want to hear about it? Do you want to hear about
I would
that?
love to.
Okay,
I would love to.
So the Hourglass Coven, right? You know how they took over like Zablina's domain? It's called Pressmere, and they broke it into 3 different places. And I know their names though. Do you want to know what their names are?
Yeah, please. Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes, please.
so the Coven, there's Bavlorna Blightstraw.
Okay. Fine. Yep. No, all good. All good.
Bavlorna Brightstraw. She's one of them. The other one is Scabatha. Scabatha Nightshade. Scabatha Nightshade.
These are the 3 hags.
Yes.
That name is awesome. Scabatha.
Scabatha. Really scary if you ask me.
That's an awesome name.
I mean,
great.
I think it's really scary. In the third one, her name is Endelyn Moongrave. That's her name.
Moongrave. I like that one. All right. Those are, and I telepathically said back, those are the 3 hags.
Yeah, they're the Hourglass Coven, and they have a lot to do with this carnival. I'm not exactly sure how, but I know their names.
Okay. Thank you for this information. I will keep it silent until I can tell these guys.
Yeah. You got to find a really quiet place if you're gonna get that information over.
So should it be really quiet?
It should be really quiet. Yeah.
How quiet?
Like so quiet. All right. So do you want to go back to the first pair and see if you can solve that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back to the first one, and Fortune is there, and Fortune's kind of like rolling her eyes, like the other horse that's attached to Fortune is so, gosh darn dramatic. It's just always being a bit of a problem. But again, it's Fortune, and then the pair to Fortune has the letter B, and then 3 spaces where the letters should go.
Boone?
No.
Bold.
Boss.
Bold.
It is bold. Yes, Fortune favors the bold.
Yay.
Nice. Done. All right, so you guys got all of that. Let me see if there's... Then you've got that information, and you've got that information. Oh, so, hi, I'm Bold. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for putting my name back. I really, really appreciate it. I just don't feel like myself when I don't have my name. Isn't that strange?
No, it's a good name.
Right? Bold. Sounds heroic, right?
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, too bad I'm stuck driving in circles with children climbing all over me all the time, but, Fortune favors the bold.
You ever think of escaping?
Escaping. I cannot escape the carousel.
Why not?
I cannot leave. As soon as I leave, magic disappears.
Oh, God. Okay.
That is bad news. But so I've heard the other ones talking because we all like share like brain space, right? Like we're all connected. And I know that you know about Bavlorna, and that you know about Skabatha, and that you know about Endolin, and you know what they're up to, but I can tell you more.
Do tell.
Want more? Okay. So more is that they're all like really suspicious of each other. Like really. And each one believes that the other two are out to get them. Isn't that weird? I mean, I thought a coven was supposed to be like unified, but they're all super suspicious of each other. So suspicious, in fact, that they had to take Pressmere and then they split it into 3. Do you want to know what they call it now?
What do they call it?
They call it hither, tither, and yon. And each hag is like responsible for one of the places.
Which one's which
Wow.
then?
Which one is which? I don't know. But I know that they have broken Pressmere into 3 little pieces, and each one rules over one of the little pieces.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Weird
really
names.
weird what they're doing over there.
If they don't like each other, why are they in a coven?
You know what? I've asked myself the same question. Like, why can't you all just get along? It seems very
Or
strange.
find other coven.
Or well, when you can't just break up a coven because they've taken over like a part of the Feywild, and it's a domain and they rule over it, so it's like some power. And if they were to leave the coven, then that would screw a lot of stuff up.
Okay,
And
take your word for it.
It wouldn't be a good thing.
Magic's weird.
It's very weird, and they're among the weirdest.
Talking unicorn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So you guys finish up with what you're doing, and you guys head back over to Diana Cloppington, and she kind of raises her eyebrows, like as if you guys managing to do that was very, very quick, and you guys did it like super fast. She's like, wow, I wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly. But what I would like to do is, you guys have helped me out, so let me help you guys out. And you turn around and look, and the carousel has this huge lineup. There's a long queue trying to get onto this ride. And she's like, I think that maybe we could test the ride. And as she's saying test the ride, she's like winking at you guys because there's nothing mechanically wrong with the carousel. She's just trying to find a way to give you guys a chance to get on the carousel and ride it for nothing other than helping to paint the letters back onto some of the horses. So you guys get a free ride on the carousel, and you've learned so much information. Hooray!
Is there anything special about the carousel, ride itself?
No, nothing really special about it, other than like I'm sure that there's some kind of chatty Cathy stuff that happens among the unicorns that you guys have communicated with telepathically, so you're able to have like whatever conversation with them, and
Carousel race.
carousel race, yeah. Each horse believes it's in the lead. I'm in first place. No, you're in first place. No, I'm in last place. You know. But that's the carousel ride and all of the information that you get from there.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Have fun and be careful. Remember what we told you. Remember what we didn't say.
Oh, it's like, oh, you mean the, and then like Cypress covers her own mouth.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So, you guys want to head to the dragonfly rides next?
Yep.
Yup.
Dragonfly.
All right.
Bug race? Another bug race, maybe?
You want to do what, sorry?
You know, she thinks it's a race.
Oh,
Bug
the
race.
dragonfly rides. It's not really.
Maybe it can be a race. at the
Right.
same time.
Maybe. So as you guys approach, you see these huge, massive lily pads that rest on the surface of a glistening pool of water. It's aglow with phosphorant algae. Giant dragonflies use these lily pads as landing platforms, buzzing loudly overhead with wings as brilliant as stained glass windows. They land briefly to drop off and pick up excited passengers. Near the entrance, a small, smiling tree turns your way and beckons you over. A red squirrel clings to its leafy canopy, peering at you suspiciously. As you approach, the treant sapling stands and says, "Hello, I am Northwind." And this guy, one of his branches points to the little red squirrel, his name is Red.
Good name.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Cypress.
Hi. Are you
Apple.
are you Apple and Cypress? And you guys are you having fun?
Lots.
I love this carnival.
Yeah, I
It's-
hope it never leaves.
Well, I mean, it's going to eventually, you know that, right?
I hope it never leaves.
And as you say
I
that,
won't have it.
like every time the treant kind of like twists its trunk around or gives you any kind of gesture or whatever, there's like these little acorns that drop off of the tree. And every time one hits the ground, Red scurries down out of the tree, grabs the acorn and brings it back up into the tree and like tries to make it stick in like a branch or like nestles it in some leaves or something, trying to keep everything attached to the tree.
He cleans up.
In a manner, I suppose.
Where are we
Yeah.
right now? Sorry, I had to step away for a sec.
No, you're
That's
fine.
okay.
You guys
Fire
are over
or
at the
firefly.
dragonfly rides.
Dragonfly ride.
Yeah, let me just move you over here.
Oh, there we are. Oh my god. Do we get to go in the air?
I mean, maybe.
Yes, I
I
hope
mean,
so.
maybe. So, all right. So you have nothing for Northwind. All right. So there are about 8 different giant dragonflies, and they're all kind of like following the same path in the air. They all kind of do these huge, lazy figure eights that kind of encompass all of the carnival, and they go up about 20 feet in the air. And as you guys make your way through the queue, you keep hearing this like chattering, nattering even, from Red. And every time you guys kind of look to where Red is in Northwind's branches, he kind of like stops. And then as soon as you look away, he starts like nattering again. And then you look back and he stops. That kind of happens over and over and over again.
Cypress continues like thinking it's a game.
Okay, perfect. So you like playing hide and seek with the squirrel?
Yeah. Is it,
Kind of.
Oh, so cute.
or is it red light, green light?
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So there's 4 of you. We're going to include Rain here. So all 4 of the dragonflies land, and you guys get to walk out on that little wharf, and you wait your turn as you're called out. The dragonfly lily pad and everything moves right into the end of the wharf, and you're able to climb on. And once all 4 of you are all seated and ready to go, you start to pick up, kind of gain a little bit of air, and then all of a sudden you hear this alarm. And it's erupting from a nearby lily pad. And there is a middle-aged dwarf with a bright blue beard. And he's kind of like somehow unfastened in his harness. And it's starting to take off a little bit. I would like all of you to give me a perception check, please.
This doesn't make any of us want to go on this.
Well, you're all already strapped in to the dragonflies, so
We don't want to wait.
perception.
Oh no, I got a 3. Oh,
16 for Cypress.
16 for Cypress. All right, Cypress. You, as you're looking around, perhaps maybe you're moving a little bit slower than the others. Maybe your attention wasn't drawn exactly to the dwarf with blue beard. You kind of note the crowd. And as you're noting the crowd, you see a bird-like person disappear into the crowd. You catch just kind of, like a what's the word? Profile. And then
Yeah.
you catch like the back of this bird person kind of scurrying into the crowd.
Looking suspicious?
Very suspicious.
And Cypress like shouts, "That person looks suspicious."
And everybody turns around and it's just like a mom with like 3 kids hanging off of her, and she's like
Not that one.
she's like trying desperately to eat a cupcake while
Not
got
avoiding
it all over her face.
you, right? It's just
Sorry,
everywhere.
ma'am.
Yeah. She's like looking around and she's kind of gives you like a funny look and goes back to trying to eat this cupcake around all of these children hanging off of her. But turning your attention back to the dragonfly and this poor dwarf, give me an animal handling check.
Or
Cypress?
just Cypress.
Yeah, everybody, go for it.
18 for Cypress.
Sweet.
had 10.
2 for Apple.
2 and a 10. Okay.
Those are not my strong suits.
All right. So Cypress, you are able to steer your dragonfly while still very, very low to the ground. You're able to kind of steer it over towards the dragonfly that's freaking out a little bit, and you're able to calm it down enough to bring it back down to the lily pad. And as you do, the dwarf, my goodness, kind of slides off of the side. So the dragonfly lands on the lily pad just in time for the dwarf to actually fall off of the thing. And he thanks you 1,000 times, and you hear the calliope from where you are. And remember last game we talked about how the calliope wasn't quite as joyful as it was when you guys had come in. Like
Yeah.
it was a little less. Well,
It's playing melancholy almost.
yeah, as soon as you guys do that, you hear the happiness and the joyfulness come back into the sound of the calliope. So it's once again very, very jovial sounds coming from there.
Are you right, mister?
He says, "Yes, that was quite scary. Perhaps more proof that a dwarf ought to stay with his feet on the ground." Ha 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 ha.
Haha.
Ha ha.
What happened?
I do not know. I was strapped in, ready to go. We got, a little bit off of the lily pad. All of a sudden, my seatbelt kind of came undone. And then next thing I know, the dragonfly just kind of freaked out a little bit, and then there was noise, and then there you were, and you saved me. So I thank you.
Was the noise the alarm?
I gather that's what that was. I don't know, though, to be sure.
You see anything weird beforehand?
I've never ridden a dragonfly before, so I was really focused on, not death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been really
Good to
scary.
focus on that.
It was very scary. It was harrowing, and I can't wait to get back to the mines and continue, underground. Not much good overground. I don't like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Feet on ground. Much
Water
better.
bad.
Yeah. Water bad. Air bad. Well, air good, but dwarf in air bad. He just kind of like awkwardly shuffles off, and he's like, thank you again.
Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, goodbye. And he kind of saunters away, and as he is walking away, you guys do notice that he goes from like that I can't believe that just happened kind of demeanor. And as soon as he leaves the archway that brings you into the dragonfly rides, it's almost like he, boom, forgets about what just happened. And he's back to being very, very jovial. And, I'm going to say skipping through the carnival, but I don't think that this particular dwarf would be much of a skipper. But there is like a lightness to his step once again. He did not almost die 30 seconds ago.
That's a little weird.
A little weird. Yeah. A little weird. So you guys jump onto your dragonflies and you take off, and it is super fun. Just give me a quick second because that's a different contest. That's the feasting orchard that we've already done. All right, cool. So maybe that really is all that there is to do with the dragonfly rides. Let me see. Ooh, okay, no problem. We can do this, and then we can figure out if you're able to steer your dragonflies and see if you can see any new or different information. Okay, so you guys, your dragonflies go up into the air about 20 feet, and they begin this lazy loop all around the carnival, and it's just this huge figure eight. And they'll do that like 3 or 4 times before the ride is over. It's meandering, they're not really going at a fast pace or anything like that. It's exciting because you're 20 feet up in the air and you can see so much of the carnival again from after the bubble pop teapot. This is a very different vantage point for you. And as you're flying around, you're starting to see people queue up in front of the Big Top Extravaganza. So people are getting ready for that that particular venue to open. And you do catch sight, Cypress, because you rolled high enough. You do catch sight of the Kenku dipping into the area that was pointed out to you before with Burley the Bugbear standing guard. So she kind of is able to sneak into like a staff-only area.
I was gonna say the next cool ride we can take is staff area.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, so give me an animal handling check.
Everyone, right? All of the above.
Yeah. Animal handling. Doom, doom, doom.
11 for Cypress.
Apple. Oh my goodness, Apple is not doing well. 7
No.
for little tiny Apple. Well, I'm pretty tiny compared to these guys.
You are. That's true.
Like to the dragonflies.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 20. Did I?
Ooh,
I rolled a
you
20.
did. Look at you.
But I have -1, so 19.
All right, so Cypress, you are almost able to steer your dragonfly. Apple, you might as well not even be on your dragonfly. It's paying you absolutely no mind. It's just kind of buzzing along and, every once in a while doing that weird like insect thing where it cleans its eyeballs, like rubs them off and then goes back to flying around. Yeah.
Oh dear.
For Liam, however, you're able to steer your dragonfly, and as you, where is there a particular spot in the carnival that you would like to get a better look at, a different look at?
Well, I mean, staff area would be nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I can't like leave, right? Like all this cloudness around us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can certainly try.
Nah. Yeah, I'll go take a look at staff area.
All right. So you're gonna fly over the staff
Neum.
area.
Or at least in that direction.
Ooh, we're getting a thunderstorm again. Man,
Cool.
we've had a lot of that in
Ooh.
the last couple of days. Yeah.
Spooky.
Oh no, so crazy. Bear with me just a quick second because I need to find the staff area. And I might not have prepped it. That's incredible. Okay, just give me a quick sec. 2 seconds.
That is okay.
Oh no.
Can
Hey,
we
it's
go-
the
can we
first
take a
time.
five- can we-
Oh,
is
yes.
it- Can
Sorry.
we take a 5-minute break?
Yes.
Is it too? So I gotta go to the bathroom and get a drink and
Yep.
do some stuff.
Absolutely. It
Okay.
gives me a second to get all caught up too. So we will
Yeah,
take a
perfect.
5 and we'll be right back.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Cool. Yep.
Okay, well, we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through our 5-minute break. We were on the Dragonfly Rise, and Cyprus. No, sorry, that is incorrect. Apologies. Yeah, it was Liam who managed to get control of the Dragonfly and was flying around and decided to take a closer look at the staff area. So, I can tell you that the Carnival's wagons, so I'm going to read a little bit to you here from the book. The Carnival's wagons are located behind this giant wall of thorns, which is right behind the big top tent. And you can tell from your vantage point that it's about 20 feet high. It's about 5 feet thick. And inside is that circle of brightly colored wagons, which are meant for staff, obviously. When you see Burley approach the thorn wall, and when he does, a 4-foot doorway opens, and it remains open for about 10 seconds, and then he disappears through it. And as soon as he clears it, the vines kind of move back in to cover that place. Can also tell you that... What else can you see from where you are? Oh. You see one wagon that seems to be more brightly colored painted than the others. This one, you could even say, is painted very closely to the way the big top tent is painted and decorated. So it's got the swirling stripes and all of that kind of stuff on it. And you see somebody sitting outside of this one, and he looks, even by his demeanor from your vantage point, just looks like a grumpy dude. And he sits outside of the door of this particular wagon, and it looks like he's smoking a pipe, but instead of like inhaling it, he's blowing into it, and he's actually blowing bubbles out of this pipe. He is he's dressed as a clown, but much like the mime that you guys have met, Candlefoot, with all of the muted colors. And it looked like even the color was leaching out of his hair and his eyes. This guy is also pretty monochromatic. A lot of gray, a lot of white, not really any bright pops of color or anything like that. Just looks like a surly dude. And from your vantage point, before your dragonfly starts to fly away, Liam, you see Burley, you assume, the bugbear, wearing his pumpkin helmet, kind of come around the corner, sees Thaco, the other clown that's sitting there, and quickly does a 180 and goes back in the other direction. And you kind of come to the conclusion of just seeing that small, not even an interaction, that perhaps the two don't get along.
All right.
Okay.
Juicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll tell all my friends that when I get back.
All right, cool. And you fly down around the snail racing thing, and you see the snails are starting to line up again, and a new group of carnival patrons are getting ready to jump onto the snails and do a little bit of a snail race. You kind of dodge around some people that are just coming out of the bubble pop teapot. You see newcomers walking into the ticket booth, and the line was already big for the big top when you guys went up into the air, and now the lineup is even bigger. It's like there are people who know something, and they are starting to get ready at the big top extravaganza. And you note that as you come back into land on a giant lily pad. I'm going to ask this because I'm going to let you guys paint whatever scene it is you decide that you see. Apple, Cypress, did you guys see anything of note as you were flying through the carnival? And it's okay if the answer is not really. That's fine.
I think Cypress would have tried to look at the mystery mine if she flew near it.
Sure. Okay.
Maybe keep an eye on Her Majesty if as she's flying over the snail racing. See how she's doing in her current race.
Cute. Okay. Absolutely.
I didn't notice anything. Apple did not.
Apple didn't? Okay. I will tell you, as you flew over the mystery mine, you see the cart disappear, and you start to hear like shouts of surprise as you kind of make that corner down where the mystery mine is at the bottom of this big figure 8 kind of layout that the Carnival has. So yeah, you hear that from the mystery mine. I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's what you pick up. And you make your way back towards the Dragonfly ride, and you land on a lily pad, and everyone is quite safe, and everyone had an enjoyable time. I mean, I assume you
We
did.
didn't fall off.
You guys tell
yeah,
me.
we didn't fall off. That's good.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
so
Thank you,
wholesome.
Dragonfly.
right. Yeah, wholesome. I like
Bye-bye,
that.
Dragonfly.
The dragonfly probably didn't even feel me get off.
Right, right. The dragonfly just kind of like buzzes and lurches around and is trying to figure out, why it just did a lap without a rider on. Yeah. All right. So you guys are finished with the dragonfly ride. So the dragonfly ride cost you a ticket, and the carousel did not. So make sure you're noting that. I forgot to make sure that we mentioned that. So the dragonfly ride was a cost. The carousel was free because you helped rename the horses.
Hey.
Sorry, the unicorns.
It's 2 left.
Yep.
What's left still?
No, we have 2 punches left.
Oh, that's it, eh?
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Once we get outside the arch, I let the team know the suspicious person I saw them go into the staff area. It looked like the Kenku that we heard the rumors about.
Uh-oh.
Oh. A bunch of stuff.
Should we go
Over
check it
there on
out?
the dragonfly. Yes.
It's a
I think we
staff
should.
area though.
That's
Yeah, we can
okay.
blend
I
in.
know a secret way to get in.
Oh.
Well, actually, I don't, but maybe I do.
Well, you kind of do because you kind of have a
I
member.
know it's there.
Yeah, you guys kind of have a member of your party who is actually a staff member of the Witchlight
that's true,
Carnival.
What do you say, Rank? Can you take us?
Oh, she eagerly agrees. Absolutely. And she makes a beeline over towards the staff area. And as you approach the big top, you start to hear, instruments inside, warming up. You hear the carnival barker that you guys noted way when you guys were doing the bubble pop teapot. He was outside in the leotard and the Andre the Giant inspired leotard. One nipple always out. You hear him.
Singlet? Is that a singlet?
A singlet? I don't know if that's a singlet or not, but either way, there's one nipple out, the other is
don't
covered.
know.
I
One
mean,
nipple.
let's make sure it's decent. I mean, we can't have a 2-nipple show here, guys. But his fervor and excitement is decidedly higher than it was the last time you guys heard him trying to get attention and get people to come into the big top. It's almost time for the big top extravaganza. And you guys kind of make your way out, kind of cut through the line, make your way around the side of the big top tent. And as you approach, you see a tangled wall of thorns surrounding a cluster of wagons lit by lanterns. This caravan is barely visible through the hedge of thorns. And as Rain catches up because she got a little bit distracted. She had to stop and have a quick chat with somebody. She kind of runs up and apologizes for getting a little bit distracted. And as she approaches, you see a 4-foot wide doorway open, and she tells you all to go through first. And she's like, "Run, run!" So you all kind of book it through, and she steps through, and almost as suddenly as it appeared, this 4-foot doorway closes behind you, so you can't easily make your way back out.
Neat.
Pretty cool, right?
I try to touch it.
You just give me a, I don't know, Constitution save? Or check, I suppose? Give me a Constitution check, not a save. Con check.
8.
Aw, you get a little puncture from one of the thorns. Maybe sticks in your skin a little bit, like a little piece of it gets stuck.
Oh.
Ouch. Ouch. All right. So you guys are, I assume, trying to be stealthy. Everybody give me, or I'm actually, you know what? No, I don't assume a darn thing because every time I do, you guys go in a different direction. Tell me what you guys are doing.
Are we allowed back here, Rain?
Yeah, did you just bring us here? We can't be here.
We're just kind of standing around.
Right? Yeah. She's like, well, not exactly.
We're following suspicious person.
Yeah, I mean, that
Oh
might.
yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah,
We
that.
came here to report it.
Yeah, that might.
Cover story.
Yeah, that one might help us. Get past Burley, but we'll see. What happens. And.
So no sneaking.
So no, you're not being sneaky. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're not guilty.
Got it. Okay, so you guys kind of poke around, and you're just seeing, just a basic kind of wagon setup. It's in a circle. There's a bit of a bonfire in the middle, and not a whole lot of people around. But you do hear two voices coming from one of the wagons, the more brightly painted, the one closer to the big top design is painted there. And you hear a low, gravelly voice say, "You need to find a way to calm down." And then in a different voice, you hear, "I'll calm down when that Kenku pest is gone." And then you hear, "She knows nothing. She'll get frustrated and leave and be on her way soon enough." And then you hear the second voice again go, "I hope you're right." And the other one, you just kind of hear almost like an evil kind of grin accompanying the sound of those words. And he just kind of goes, "Trust me." And then from there, the conversation shifts into, talking about the general mood of the carnival that night, how happy everyone seems, how the calliope music has been bright and lively for the majority of the evening. The snail races seem to be a hit in this part of the Sword Coast. You hear kind of almost like a manager's meeting kind of conversation, just like checking, making sure that things are going well and that... things are running as smoothly as they can be.
Right.
Any
Seems
sign
like
of the Kenku?
Give me a survival check, Cypress. 12. Okay. You are able to see some giant bird footprints, I suppose. And every once in a while, you do come across a feather, as though like a feather has fallen out of the Kenku as she's been stalking around these different caravans and things like that. But you really don't see the Kenku. But what you do see is an elf, brightly painted, kind of come out from behind one of the wagons and kind of nods at you and approaches the Wall of Thorns. And the Wall of Thorns doesn't open right away. It takes a moment. But it does eventually open. And this elf, brightly painted, steps through it. And again, it doesn't close as quickly as it did when you guys came through with Rain. It takes a second. And then it finally does close behind this elf. And you continue to follow these footprints, Cypress. And as you come around the back of the wagon that this elf person came through, you see the bird footprints shift from bird prints to just normal footprints.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Rain,
Interesting.
this way. I think it went this way.
And Rain is like, "What? What are you talking about?"
The elf was the Kenku.
The elf was the Kenku. The elf was the troublemaker?
No, the Kenku is the elf, and the Kenku is the troublemaker.
Oh,
They went this way.
all
Come
right.
this way. Open this one. And she's like practically hopping.
Amazing. Okay, so she runs over to where you are, and the thorn things open. The thorn wall opens, and Apple and Liam, are you guys following through, or are you guys going to stay in here for a second?
I mean, I want to see the drama.
You
Me
want-
too. Me too.
All right,
Let's go.
So you're probably going to follow. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys all come out of the staff area. Not really a whole lot to see back there. Just, utilitarian setup. Not even a whole lot of like the fireflies and the grandeur that you guys are seeing through the carnival kind of in this area. It's all pretty bare bones, if you will. So as you come around the side of the big top tent from the opposite side that you guys went in, you do see that giant lineup again, and give me a not perception, I think investigation, because you guys are trying to follow this brightly painted elf. So give me investigation, because you're actively following. I think that feels correct.
Apple is not rolling well, so she got 6.
It was almost an 18. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw.
10 for Cypress.
Okay. And,
21.
ooh,
Oh my
dang. All right.
Change your dice
Did I
again,
press
yeah.
the right button? Intelligence investigation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
investigation.
Investigation.
I rolled a 19, I see.
Nice. Okay, so as you guys come around the corner, you do see this brightly painted elf kind of dip into the big top. And Rain is like, don't even worry about it, you guys. I got this. And Rain approaches the big top and has a chat with, the barker that you guys have been hearing on and off throughout your evening at the Witchlight Carnival. And he steps aside and gives a nod to each of you as you walk through without the cost of a ticket. So this is a free one for you guys to walk into. Whoops.
Thank you.
Ooh. And he just kind of nods and he goes, hey, if you can catch the troublemaker, you'll always get in the big top for free.
Like every time it's here?
Like every time. No questions asked. As
Yeah.
long as I am in front of it, you guys will always get in.
Why, thank you.
Snail racing. Let me think. Please tell me I didn't forget the big top as well. No, there it is. It was the second one that I did. That's why I was having trouble finding it. All right. The big top. As you guys go inside, you do lose sight of the brightly painted elf. There's there's like a conglomerate of people in here. It's packed already, and there's still a huge lineup outside. You're not really sure how everybody's going to fit in here, but Rain just kind of is looking around, and she nods to a couple of people that she sees strategically, standing at their posts inside of the big top. And she just kind of gestures for you guys to have a seat. And you guys are like front row, down the bottom, front row, right ringside, the whole thing, best seats in the house. And she just kind of goes over and has a seat and pets down beside her and says, listen, we're not going to be able to do anything until the show is over anyway. So let's just sit back and enjoy the show. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
I keep an eye out for the Kenku, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So inside, there are colorful orbs of light, and they're dancing through the peaks of this thing, and it's kind of lighting down the sides. It's giving like nice atmosphere inside. Feels like a party place. And there are rows and rows and rows of these tiered wooden seats that kind of go all the way around the ring. Think of like going to a hockey arena. You've got all of your seating,
Sure.
that kind of situation. The top of the tent reaches as far up into the night sky as you dare look. There are 3 swooping peaks topped with spinning gold stars on the outside. Painted wooden panels on the walls do exactly what they do on the outside. They spin with all of these different colors, giving you a little bit of an optical illusion, perhaps making you believe that the space is a bit bigger than what it actually is. It's also giving you displays, like it stops spinning every once in a while, and when it stops on a different type of performance that you'll see inside the big top. So there's like a trapeze artist, and then it spins again, and it stops on like a strong man lifting an unbelievable amount of weight. It spins again, and you see somebody, I don't know, doing some flips or something in the air. I don't know, whatever you want to imagine. But as you're doing this, laughter kind of ebbs and flows through the tent. And this is all happening before the event has even started. Let me see. What else can I tell you about? Oh, right. I did roll that, so I know what acts are going to happen. All right. So as you guys are sitting there and Rain goes from looking anxious to finally settling down. And she settles down as this spotlight comes from somewhere that you can't quite pinpoint, but it lands in the middle of the ring in front of you. And this figure of a man steps into it. He's lanky, he's long, he's wearing like a jester's hat, and his costume is different mirrors that are all like, do you know what I mean by like the Harlequin diamonds?
Yeah.
Okay, so his costume is covered in Harlequin diamond shaped mirrors. So he's like a disco ball kind of in the middle of this ring.
Okay.
And he's holding in his hand this golden staff. And the staff at the very top of it has a ball at the top, but there's also like almost like a butterfly looking shape. And as he holds it into the air and the crowd cheers, the vane on the top starts to spin like a weather vane. And the louder the crowd cheers, that was hard to say, the faster this butterfly part of the staff spins. So the more noise, the louder it spins, the happier the mood inside of the big top gets. So it gets brighter, the colors get more saturated, and it just starts to really feel like this is a good time party place. Perhaps more so than any other event or ride that you guys have been to so far. And he, doesn't really cracks a mic, but all of a sudden his big booming voice comes out, and it sounds very familiar to you all. Hang on a second. Sorry, just bear with me. Sorry, I've just got... A lot of people call my husband in the run of a day, it turns out. Sorry. Okay.
No worries.
Now that we were pulled violently out of the picture that I was painting, he starts to talk. The voice sounds familiar to you after the conversation that you heard in the staff area. And as he steps aside, after welcoming you all and reminding you all that the monarch of the Witchlight Carnival will be crowned at midnight. When he says that, the place goes absolutely wild. Everybody is clapping and cheering and super happy and very excited to meet the new monarch of the evening. And as he steps aside, a goblin comes from the back of the tent and steps forward. And as he steps forward, he magically produces these 4 brightly colored batons. And he begins to juggle them. And as he juggles them, they like double. So he started with 4, now he's at 8, and he juggles them. And then somebody from the crowd starts to throws something down to him, like an umbrella, and he catches it and he adds it to the juggling. And somebody else throws, another piece of something down, and he adds that to the bit that he's juggling. And, 3 or 4 people do that, and he finally does drop one. And when he drops one, he just kind of gives a shrug and does a giant bow. And with a flourish, his extra batons disappear, so they come back down into just the 4 that he was originally juggling with. And this went on for like a solid 5 or 6 minutes. This was an incredible feat that you guys just saw. The next act that comes out is actually a super cute one. The lights go down very, very, very low. And as you're watching, you see an ogre come out from the back. And the crowd, there's a sudden, shocked expression that comes from everybody that's in there. Everybody except Rain. And she is kind of like, you guys are going to love this. Just wait a second. So the ogre runs to the back, and he brings out this little, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a little pedestal. And he sets that in the middle, and he runs back off out of the spotlight, and he brings something back out. back out. And it looks like a miniature version of the big top tent. Oh shoot, I just had it in my brain what those things are called. Diorama. It's almost like a diorama of the inside of the Big Top Carnival. And before you know it, he does this big gesture over his body, and he turns from wearing like some slacks and like a tank top to wearing an entire genie costume, complete with the hat. He's got the billowy pants. He has the shoes with the curls for the toes. Everything is brightly colored, and he grins from ear to ear. And then the lights go down even further, and for the first time, you start to see these little tiny fireflies, and they seem to turn on their glow one at a time. And as they turn on these little glows, you start to notice that they're each doing an act inside of this tiny replica of the Big Top. And weirdly, even the people who are up in the very, very back can see it like they're sitting in the front row. There's a little bit of magic, perhaps something magically messing with perception happening here. But everybody has like a front row seat when it comes to this little tiny firefly circus. And it's like the coolest thing you guys have seen in a long time. The third act that comes out is a satyr. And perhaps this makes Liam a little bit excited. He comes out and he's playing a fiddle. And as he's playing the fiddle, it turns from, this melancholy tune, mournful. And all of the colored orbs inside of the tent turn like from blues to purples, back to blues. Everything feels kind of heavy. And then all of a sudden the key changes and it starts to feel hopeful. And as it does that, the purples start to turn to oranges, start to turn to yellows. And finally he ends on this incredibly jaunty tune. And as he does, he begins to do almost like Highland dancing. I don't know how else to explain it. But with every step that he takes, when he's playing this really excited, happy tune, wherever his foot lands and then leaves, there's a little sprout of wild flowers that pop up behind him. So he's dancing around the ring, and there are just these flowers coming everywhere. So it eventually is just filled full of wild flowers. And he finishes with a flourish, takes a bow, and as everyone is clapping and cheering, he just kind of goes around the arena and he picks these different wildflowers and he just kind of hands them to people at random in the crowd. And Liam, because you are both satyrs, you absolutely get the biggest bundle of flowers.
Yes.
But that's pretty much what you guys are able to take in inside of the Big Top. And they say, don't go far, because eventually the Big Top will host the Big Top Extravaganza, and that is when we will announce the Witchlight Monarch for tonight. And there's a big, cheers, round of applause. And as everybody starts to leave, you guys all get up to go as well, and Rain remains seated. And she kind of like gestures for you guys to just go ahead and sit back down and let the crowd leave the room. And as she does, you guys are kind of sitting and waiting patiently, and you're kind of looking at Rain expectantly. And finally, the majority of people have left. In fact, mostly all that's left in here now are people who are like sweeping up, popcorn that was left behind, perhaps some thimbleberry wine, all of that kind of stuff. They're kind of cleaning up and getting set for the Big Top Extravaganza. So the set is changing a little bit. There's actually like a miniature stage that they bring out and all of that kind of stuff. And there's this big crown that they sit on, a pillow that's sitting on a pillar, all of that kind of stuff. And Rain encourages you to follow her. And you guys end up going backstage. So you pass by some of the acts that you just saw do their thing, and you end up in a dressing room. And there were two guards that's standing outside of the dressing room. They nod to Rain, and Rain just explains that you guys are with her, and you guys walk into the dressing room. And it's a chaotic scene. There's color and glitter absolutely everywhere. Tables are strewn with makeup kits. There's glass jewelry, mirrors trimmed with glowing orbs of light. Chests of drawers and wardrobes are just spilling over with costumes and different garments and things like that. And I'm going to roll. Just give me a second. I'm going to roll a d8. And then another d8. And then another d8. Actually, I'm going to roll 4. Okay. So, the first one is... you guys are kind of start rummaging through. Why don't you all give me... let me think. Rummaging through a thing. Give me some investigation checks.
See if I can roll properly this time.
5.
Cypress
Ooh.
is 9.
And
Apple
nine.
got 19.
Oh,
Apple got
Yay!
19.
Finally.
redemption.
And I need to roll.
Right?
I'm going to roll. I don't know what her sheet is, but I'll roll a d20 for Rain as well. Okay. Sorry, I know that came up under Liam, but. All right, so 5. Who got the biggest number? Apple. And then Cypress. And, excuse me. All right. Liam, as you are rummaging through things, you come across the front and rear halves of a 2-person unicorn costume.
Nice.
So you can keep that with you. You can leave it here. You can steal half of it, whatever your heart desires.
I'll just know it's here.
You just know that it's there. That works.
Yeah.
Cypress, you come up with a dagger. But as you're playing with the dagger, you find out haphazardly that it is just a costume dagger. It's actually a retractable one. So it's not real. It's like a stage dagger.
I'd play with it a bit.
Absolutely.
Even like stab myself and pretend to be dead and then totally absorbed in it right now.
Absolutely.
I won't take it. I'll leave it there, but
okay. And Rain comes across a wire headband with a sparkling paper unicorn horn. There's not a chance that she's going to leave that behind, so...
suits her.
Right? Headband with paper. And I should say, like, it's covered in glitter. All of the typical stuff. And Apple. You find a pair of stilts and a long, bright purple pair of trousers.
In real life, I hate stilts so much. This is going to be amazing.
I really, honestly, I wasn't even paying attention. I just wrote down the numbers that I rolled from that D8, and then I just went by who got the highest, got the highest number of the items. So
this is funny. Okay, stilts and what?
Stilts and bright purple trousers to go over the stilts.
Oh my god, I'm so tiny.
Right?
Oh my god, this is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. When can I put them on? Like now?
Yeah, whenever you want. But
Putting them on right now.
Okay, you are gonna have to give me oh gosh, is this gonna be dexterity or acrobatics? I guess they're kind of one and the same, right?
Cypress will help when she's done with her
I
deck.
bet you
Like
it's
help
dex.
steady her. Yeah. Give me give me a dex check. Let's see how you do. I mean,
Apple got a 7.
All things considered, you didn't do terribly bad. Definitely going to take a little bit more practice.
I look cute though, right?
You look adorable. There's no question. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. With your kitchen
So cool.
your kitchen witch vibes and bright purple trousers, and all of a sudden you're 12 feet tall. It's amazing.
I love it.
High five.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys have your little trinkets and trophies. If you want to take them with you out of the dressing room, it is entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'm wearing them. still.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. As you should be. Okay, so that's really all there is right now for the Big Top. So is there anything else you would like to take in? I think you guys have one more ticket punch left.
No.
I think we have 2.
You have 2 left? Okay.
We got
Yeah.
3 in the Big Top and
That's right.
Carousel.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, it's still
Oh, Budward.
Mystery Mine. No, we did Mystery Mine already, right?
Nope.
No, we
Nope.
didn't. That's the only one we
Mystery
haven't done.
Mine
Oh,
and-
Silver Song Lake.
Lake.
Yeah. And Lost Property.
But we didn't lose anything.
No.
I'm not lost.
We could just say we lost something. I'll take it.
Yeah, girl. I think we should do Mystery Mine.
You think you should what? Sorry?
Mystery Mine. Don't
Mystery
you guys
Mine?
think?
Mystery Mine.
Mystery Mine.
Mystery Mine.
All right.
Excited.
You sound excited.
She takes off for it.
All right. So this ride costs 1 ticket punch. And Rain starts to bore you, actually, with some details about the Mystery Mine. This actually is one of her favorite attractions inside of the Witchlight Carnival. And she begins to explain that the mine is a brainchild of an eccentric dwarf named Zafixo. And he speaks a number of languages: Common, Dwarven, Gnomish, and Sylvan. And he beckons you over as you approach towards his all-seeing eye. And you look into the eye. And I would like you each, because you can't really send me a secret squirrel message on Foundry. So send me a secret squirrel message on Facebook, I guess is probably going to be the easiest, in separate messages. And tell me something that your character... write down their character names with the name of a creature. Oh, okay. A creature that your character is afraid of.
Afraid of.
Yeah.
okay.
A creature.
A creature, like an animal.
Or like an animal. A creature could be a being, I suppose. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just need to know some things about you guys.
There, I sent it.
Okay.
Oh, I just... Wait, does it have to be something... Oh, hang on. Okay, tell me if that one doesn't work. Tell me if that's, like, not doesn't make sense.
Okay, just give me a second. Doo doo. A creature. Okay, that I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I can figure that out. All right, so
Ace, what you said, right? Either or.
it's really funny. You guys have all independently chosen. Well, not all of you, but a lot of you have chosen the same sort of creatures. That's interesting.
Pretty good.
All right. So, also that. Okay. Anything else for...
Oh, more?
Yeah.
You want another one?
Nope, you don't have to at all. I was
Okay.
just, sorry. I'm just making sure that I have everything is good. All right. A lot of windows to close. All right. So, the Mystery Mine. Dun dun dun. Propelled by magic, mine carts laden with fairgoers trundle into an opening carved into a dragon's mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the far side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. Near the entrance, the male dwarf, dressed like a wizard, shouts, "Unlock the mysteries of your mind in the Mystery Mine!" Obviously, this is Zafixio. He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption shaped like a giant eye, which you guys have already peered through. And he takes a hole punch from each of you and tells you to sit in this cart. Each cart holds like 8 people, so everybody fits comfortably. And as you start to make your way through, it's you know the wooden roller coaster at Upper Clemens Park. Everybody's been on that.
Yeah.
No, I don't like
Nope.
roller coasters.
Maybe. Yeah.
What?
Okay. Well, it's
Yeah, I've been on it a million times.
I
so
know,
yes.
me too, and I have like a bad neck for days after every single time.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely something.
Yeah, but like you know how like I don't want to say the word rickety, but it's that kind of. I don't want to use that word.
But you mean rickety? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
There's
to
one
use.
in Vancouver. Yeah, there's one in Vancouver I used to go on as a kid. It's terrifying. It's so
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's old. It seems cobbled together, perfectly safe. Maybe bumpier than you know, some of the metal based roller coasters that you can get on. It definitely is a little more. Yeah, it's just bumpier. It's just a harder ride. Does that make sense? Anyway.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, it's the same sensation as you're going through here because it is built entirely of wood. It's on wooden wheels, the whole thing. It's all very safe. It just feels kind of unsafe. And as you pass through the dragon's mouth, the ride plunges you into illusions. You come through undulating hills, corkscrewing trees, and prismatic skies. And as you go through the track, Cypress, you go through this weird part of the ride, and it takes you through like an ocean kind of expanse. And as you're going through, you're just kind of like minding your own business, enjoying, you know, the seagulls flying overhead and the sound of waves. And all of a sudden you come around this corner and you are faced with a giant squid that is reaching for you and trying to grab you out of the cart.
No.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know why, but I'm picturing this specific squid with like one giant eye and a huge beak, and it's just like reaching for you. And it's absolutely terrifying because his thing is huge. Like it is giant. It is a squid of myth that is reaching for you. And you kind of freak out.
Yeah, I might have broken the safety bar.
Yeah, you probably have. Much to Apple's dismay, because Apple is beside you, but looking out the other side of the cart. And Janet, as you're looking, you were doing the same. You were minding your own business. You were just taking in the ocean and the waves and the seagulls and the sound and just like relaxing. And all of a sudden you look over and there's a shark that jumps out of the water with its big mouth just agape and tries to take a bite at you. Misses.
I scream.
Yeah.
I scream so loud.
Yeah, like it just misses you. Like you feel a spray of water hit your skin, or your fur, I should say, as this shark, slams its jaws shut and disappears back down into the water. So you guys continue through, and you end up coming through like this meadow place, which is all very serene. But as you're like, you can see in the cart behind you that other people are freaking out. So there's something there. One of their fears lives in this meadow. It's like freaking out. It's all illusion. And you come through again, and it's like this windy kind of forest path that you guys are on now at this point. And you come through, and all of a sudden you see Liam. And Liam's just kind of that makes a gesture like she's like swatting insects away. And it starts to become a little bit more frequent. And then Liam, a wasp comes and lands on the back of your hand as you're just about to pick your hand up to swat a
I
fly
want
away.
to slap it. Kill them all.
Slap it. Give me, let me see, what would that be? Give me a dexterity save. Athletics, maybe?
Dexterity
Acrobatics?
save?
I don't know.
Push it.
Dex.
Yeah, give me some dex. I think dex is correct. I feel like
Dex
it's been,
saving throw?
yeah, well, just a
Or
check.
Dex check?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. That's up here, I think. Like,
An 11. No problem. You do manage to get it, and you swat it, and it does not sting you. However, all of the wasps around you have now noted, and you begin getting buzzed. You know what I mean? Like when they like almost like bomb you.
Yes. Swarming.
You ever
yeah.
experienced
Scary.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of continue through, and as you make another turn through this forest scape that you guys are in right now, and remember, it's all like weird. It's like carnival weird. So the sky is still like broken and prismatic, and the trees are like the bottom half looks like a evergreen tree, the top half looks like a poplar tree, or a weeping willow is like a half and half other trees. Like everything is just bizarre in here. And you go through and you come around another corner, and you guys just start getting pelted with June bugs.
Oh no.
Like just pelted. There's
Ugh,
and there's
why?
nothing
Why
there.
would you do that to us?
It wasn't me. But you guys, you just kind of get pelted with all of these June bugs. And yeah, and as you go through, you come through the tree line, and the bugs kind of go away. And you're just kind of riding through what looks to be the bottom of this big canyon. And as you're kind of looking around, you start to see these like breaks in the illusion. So you're almost seeing like a little shard, I suppose, of another reality, I suppose, is one way to look at it. One of them that you can see through shows people dancing. They're all in very fancy clothes, and it's this glorious masquerade, and everything is wonderful and beautiful, and all of a sudden the walls start to bleed, and the floor starts to puddle blood, and the merriment of the masquerade, however, only seems to increase as the scene gets more and more gory and bloody. And you take your eyes from that one because it's horrifying to look at, and you see another break, another rift, I guess is what I'll call it. But as you look, you see a lone figure standing in on like a cliff edge, and behind him in silhouette is this giant castle, and he's just standing on this cliff's edge, and there's a streak of lightning flashes behind him, and it lights his face up, and he has this very sinister grin on his face as he closes a cloak around him, and he explodes into a cloud of bats. And then that one goes away, and you come across another one, and this one is just like a really truly bizarre place. Creatures that you've never seen before, you can see through this thing. They're humanoid in shape, but that's about it. Nothing else about them looks familiar. The skin tones are all wrong. The hair isn't really hair, it's more like scales. Their teeth, instead of being in their mouths, are set in front of like where your lips would be. And their noses aren't really noses, they're just slits in their face. Their eyes are set further apart on their heads, and they're just like pure black. You can't really see anything else in their eyes. There's no other color than that black. And then that rift kind of closes a little bit, and you guys come back through the other side of the mystery mine. The ride is now over.
That was terrifying.
Not doing
Paid a
that
ticket
again.
for that.
Right?
It cost you a
Why?
ticket for that. Yeah.
God damn it.
It sure did.
Apple never swears, but she's like, dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit. Yeah, did not like
Save
that.
the worst for last.
Did not like.
God.
Oh no, we get the lake left.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is true. And you guys should be able to do the Silver Song Lake by the time the Big Top Extravaganza and the crowning of the Witchlight Carnival happens. I'm just hoping we got about a half an hour. So
Yeah.
let's try to...
Run there. We'll run there.
You're just going to run.
Yeah.
Run, run, run. Scoot, scoot, scoot. And let me find my Silver Song Lake. There it is. All right. So this attraction actually doesn't cost you anything.
Good.
Yeah.
Because we don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
got one left.
At this point, okay, so mist gathers at the banks of a shimmering lake. Near the center, a mermaid lounges in a large ornate bowl, singing a glorious, haunting song that captivates spectators on the lake shore. In response, the water in the lake coalesces into magical sculptures that whirl around her as she performs. And Rain introduces her as Palasha.
Palasha the mermaid.
Palasha the mermaid.
Oh, didn't we learn something about her before? I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was proposed to?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a failed proposal because he didn't actually say anything.
Right. And as you guys are taking in the performance, continue talking. I just need to describe to you what's happening as you guys are having this conversation. So you guys can keep doing your thing, but as you guys are having this discussion, you start to hear like really rude jeers coming from the crowd. That was a sour note, Palasha. Wasn't very good. Then you hear another voice that just says, "You putting on a little weight there, Palasha? You're looking a little round, huh?"
All from the same person?
Oh, so rude.
Yeah, but the place where the voice is coming from is dramatically different. So like one to the right of you, one to the left of you, one like across from you. I don't have anything else mean to say right now in my brain. Apparently I'm in a very good mood today. So you hear a third very rude, uncalled for statement that comes from like where you guys are standing, but like a kind of across the lake a little bit.
Looking for it. The source.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Oh, damn.
22.
All right. Hang on,
Natural
'cause
20.
I've got to double check a thing. But as you... so just to recap, you guys do know that Palasha is in love with Candlefoot. You do know that Candlefoot fudged his proposal because he lost his voice or something happened anyway. And you also know that Palasha and Candlefoot haven't really seen each other since this proposal went south. Give me a perception check. Oh wait, I already did. You got a 22. You see Kettle Steam, weaving through the crowd and darting back and forth and saying very terrible things. And Palasha does eventually falter in her song, and she does eventually hit a very sour note. And as she does, it appears to be more than she can simply bear, and she dives into the water.
That was rude. I tried to grab him.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Let me see. Where is... Wow, it's finally raining in Las Vegas. We need like 3 months of rain,
Ooh.
and then we might be a little
I'm
bit
sure.
better. Yeah, holy smokes. All right. That should really happen over here, but we're going to have it happen over there, so that is all fine. No problem. Earlier, correct. All right. Cyprus. Where are you? Where are you on my map? I need to look at you for a second. There you are.
Should be over with the others.
Yep. Make way for Prince Ali.
Really in your head, isn't it?
What happens? Yeah, it's really stuck. Why don't you give me a stealth check to see if you can sneak up on Kettle Steam?
Let me double check something. I'm pretty sure it's disadvantage.
Why would it be disadvantage?
Because of the armor I'm wearing.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
have to double check that.
Gotcha.
Inventory. Chainmail. Well, maybe not. I thought it would be, but it didn't say disadvantage on it. I'm pretty sure it's disadvantage though, so I'm gonna roll disadvantage.
Oof.
Natural 1.
Well, good lord, you
Plus
shouldn't have.
one.
Bless your heart for being honest, but... All right. So you see
I'm
Kettle
like,
Steam.
I'm like the person trying to catch the fish in the river. Just,
Yeah, just a
splash it out.
little bit short every time. You actually were able to like get like a handful of feathers at one point, and she just, again, just kind of slips your grasp. Have you told Apple and Liam that you've
You're like,
spotted her?
it's the Kenku. The Kenku's here, causing trouble. They can't catch her.
Damn.
All right, if you two would like to give chase, it's
Yes.
entirely up to you, but
Yeah.
it'll be a stealth check.
Yeah.
Wait, in my stilts?
On your
Yeah.
stilts,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you can take them, you know what, I can even say that if you take them off and tap them twice, they'll turn into like the size of toothpicks, and you can keep them in your pocket.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, perfect.
I'll
'cause
give-
I
I'll
can
give you
just
that.
Imagine falling.
Right. A 16, okay. A 16 for Liam. Apple.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
Stealth.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I may not have been very clear.
So
Hey!
Apple rolled a 12.
You rolled above a 10.
Finally.
All right. So, Cypress, you are keeping the attention of Kettle Steam as she's running through the crowd. And what she's not expecting is a rabbit folk and a satyr to be part of your posse. And with the help of Liam and Apple, the three of you manage to corner Kettle Steam. And Rain brings up the rear and gets up behind her and just says, listen, we don't want any trouble. We just want to know why you're here and what's happening. And with that, Kettle Steam kind of stops and doesn't really put up much more of a fight. And, Rain kind of has her by the arm, and she walks her kind of out of the crowd that was watching the performance at the Silver Song Lake. And you guys just kind of go over to where the crowd is a little less dense. And Kettle Steam and Rain sit down and have a pretty serious conversation. And Liam and Apple and Cypress, feel free to chime in if you guys have any questions for Kettle Steam or anything like that. But she offers up the following information. Many years ago, I made a pact with Zyblina, the Archfey, who rules the Feywild domain of Pressmere. Recently, I've become convinced that something is wrong. And as a warlock, I sense that Zyblina is no longer in touch. And it's a very disconcerting thought. And Rain kind of nods, because Rain hasn't heard from Zyblina either. And Rain is also deeply connected to Zyblina. So they kind of bond over that at first and expressing their concern for their patron. Kettle Steam just wants to talk to the carnival's owners about Pressmere, but they keep giving her the cold shoulder. And she knows, or at least she's pretty sure she knows, that they know more than they're letting on. And during her last visit, Kettle Steam shares that she heard Witch and Light talking in their wagon. And she repeats the conversation using her mimicry trait to imitate Light's voice, as someone's going to find out about this and they're going to shut us down. And she hears you guys hear Witch's calm, steady reply of, we agreed to this pact. Our hands are forced, but our eyes are open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what they want. Hang on a second. Budward, stop. Thank you. You big, beautiful beast. You fart so much. Okay, sorry. Also, what Kettle Steam said. You're great, but you fart. Where was I? We agreed to this. Our hands are forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That is what you want, right? And do you guys have any questions for her yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
And then
No problem. This is just kind of an information dump. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Kettle Steam admits to causing trouble in the carnival and will not stop until Witch and Light divulge what they know about Zablina and Presmere. And due to terms of her Fey pact with Zablina, she can never enter Presmere. So she begins to plead with you guys to please head to Presmere. Please find out what's happening with Zablina. I am so concerned, and I'm tired of coming to this carnival. I don't like it here. I don't like the people that are in here. I think everything is shady and not what it appears to be. And I've seen many terrible, terrible things happen, and I just want Zablina to be okay.
What terrible
mean-
things?
I've heard of people going missing. I've heard of items going missing. I've heard of, memories even of people who have been to the carnival just suddenly disappearing.
That's frightening.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't like forgetting.
No, forgetting is terrible.
Do you know what the Hourglass Coven's taking? Did you overhear that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I assume that they're the ones behind, the people missing and the things missing and even, the memories and changes of mood.
Do you know where the entrance to Presmere is? I know you can't enter, but it would help if you tell us where it is if you know it.
Okay. Kettle Steam says, I think I have it figured out. I think. And here's what I think. I think that you need to get a hold of. Hang on, I gotta get the name right. You guys get a hold of Mr. Light's Witchlight vein. The thing that you saw, gold with the ball and the butterfly that spins on the top. And I would use it as leverage to blackmail him into showing you the way to Presmere.
Damn.
That's what I think. And I'm happy to help if that's what you guys want to do.
I mean, if that's
Sure.
the only way, I guess yes.
Seems excessive.
Is there another way?
I mean, maybe.
No, like door or something we can just,
Yeah, as a
Walk through.
DM, there's always more than one way. Just depends
Yeah,
on
us.
Yeah, right? Just depends on which way you guys want to go. And don't forget too, Kettle Steam has been causing some trouble
Mm-hmm.
in the carnival.
Right.
And you guys just saw her completely destroy Palasha during Palasha's performance.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. Pretty terrible. And probably safe to say that she might have had something to do with Candlefoot's situation. That's me giving you guys a brass ring.
We were hired to help out Presmere. So we'll be doing that anyway, but you gotta stop the bad things. It's not nice.
What do you mean bad things?
What you were doing to Palasha.
Yeah, you're tearing her down. That was pretty rude.
The poor dwarf with the dragonfly rides. I saw you there.
Well, I'm just trying to get the attention of Mr.
He
Witch and
got
Mr. Light.
really hurt, and then with that, like I stand my full height in front of her, and
Give me an imitation. Give me no. Give me an intimidation check, please.
I wanted that to keep going.
19.
Yeah, it solidly works, and you don't even ask for it. But she holds out to you guys a corn husk doll, and it has a thorny stem tied around its neck, and it is dressed, although more colorfully, but it is dressed like Candlefoot.
What's this?
And she I won't say happily, but she does divulge all of the information. She explains that this is how she was able to steal the voice. She tells you how to break the spell. All you have to do is untie the thorns around the doll's neck, and Candlefoot will be able to speak again.
I do that.
Okay. And yeah, you do that, and somewhere in the carnival, Candlefoot suddenly begins to, color starts seeping back into his skin, into his hair, into his eyes, even into the costume that he's wearing, and he starts to get back some of his bravado and his confidence and all of that kind of stuff with the restoration of his voice.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to destroy the doll, or should I hang on to it?
I don't like to destroy things that have been, or I wouldn't leave it somewhere where somebody else could just pick it up. I hesitate to leave magic items laying around like that, but it is actually up to you all.
Cypress hangs onto the doll.
Cool. Just making a note.
Yeah. Adding it to my loot.
Corn husk doll. I.e. Candlefoot's voice receptacle. Okay. And as your conversation with Kettlestein the Kenku begins to wrap up, she promises not to cause any trouble for the rest of the evening. She can't make any promises about tomorrow night, but for the rest of tonight, she promises to steer clear of causing any kind of trouble.
Excellent.
Just
Leave civilians out of it.
yeah, and she nods, perhaps a little bit embarrassed of her behavior, but she agrees to your terms to be let go and not be brought directly in front of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, because that would be very bad for her right now. You guys do hear a bunch of noise once again erupting from the big top. It is time to crown the Witchlight Monarch. Are you guys going to go
It's
and
me.
take in the sights and sounds?
It's me.
It's me.
It's
I
gonna
hope
be
it's me.
me.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah.
I love it. Do I have? No, I've got that. The carousel, the dragonfly rides, the swans, the hall, mystery mine, Silver Song Lake, catch a dragon by the tail, snail racing. So fun. This really has been a super fun thing so far. Really enjoyed
Love it.
Okay. So you guys head back to the big top. Again, not going to cost you a ticket to get in. This is a free public thing that they're doing. And as you guys go inside, the crowd is quite different than it was before. The crowd is expectant this time. There's great tension among the audience, and as everybody is starting to take their seats. And once again, you guys have managed to get your seats right down, front row, right at the bottom. And as spectators begin to take their seats in the big top, you see a giant black cat appear, and he has these two, I guess the word is tentacles that come out from his neck. It's a displacer beast, basically. You see him come out from the back, and he's escorting Mr. Witch into the coronation. And they stand side by side next to Candlefoot, and Mr. Light gives his opening speech, and the monarch is selected. So, you hear the welcome to you all to the Witchlight Carnival. I hope that this evening has been as much fun for you as it has been for us. Simply watching your enjoyment is more than we could possibly ask for. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light kind of take on and take off this opening speech and this welcoming speech. And as they do, the other is making giant gestures, trying to get the crowd behind everything that they're saying. So when they're talking about, I hope you guys are having fun, one of them is like, lots of clapping and trying to get people to make noise. Kind of like the way when you walk into a room and nobody is really sure if this is the kind of event where you're supposed to make a whole bunch of noise and the person on stage is like dying. So they're like
Right.
waiting for that feedback to happen and for the crowd to start cheering and all that kind of stuff. So as that starts to get underway, you hear this drum roll. That's a drum roll, I guess, in Nero. Nero.
The fastest drum roll.
So, there is a thread of golden light that begins to wind its way through the audience. It's going up, and then it comes back down the seats, and it goes along a row, and it eventually begins to coil around Cypress. Ooh.
Pretty.
And as it does, Cypress, you are compelled to stand. It's almost like the thread is pulling you along, and you stand and you take a couple of steps forward. And as you are now standing in front of everyone, you're now kind of like 4 or 5 steps into the very center ring where everyone is standing. And you're looking at them, they're looking at you, and you look over your shoulder and the whole place is staring at Cypress. What's her reaction to that?
Big eyes, and like she turns very sheepish,
Mm-hmm.
and just like kind of gives like awkward wave.
And as you
Or
do
just
that,
standing in the middle.
as you do that awkward wave, there's like one person in the very, very back who's like, I saw her. She was really good at the snail race. I saw her. And like, then like everybody it's infectious and everybody is clapping and everybody is celebrating. And
Wow.
you hear the calliope from outside. It starts playing like this ridiculously happy and joyful music. The mood is over the top. There's ribbons and glitter, and you get this giant crown. And you're actually, Cypress, going to walk away with something called the Charm of the Monarch.
Okay.
So you're handed this thing, and you immediately become aware of its benefits. So there's no waiting for this one. The charm of the monarch. You can sprout a pair of beautiful butterfly wings, and as long as you have the wings, you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You gain +5 on all charisma-based ability checks. And these effects last for 1 hour. After you use the charm 3 times, it will vanish. And even if the charm does vanish, you will have the title of Witchlight Monarch forever as a title.
Neat.
So with that, you now have your crown. You have your little charm that you can carry with you all the time. Basically like a certificate that says that you're great. And Mr. Witch and Mr. Light approach you. There's lots of handshaking. I would say there's picture opportunities, but I know that there's no such thing as cameras here, so there's some kind of documenting that happens.
Crystal
Great
balls.
detail, yeah. Or perhaps there is a turtle in the audience with a floating scroll and a quill that starts taking down all of this information. And
Cypress waves if she sees it.
yeah, and the quill stops and kind of gives you a little wave back and goes back to writing. And Mr. Witch and Mr. Light invite you to a private meeting between you, your friends, and Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. They simply would like to thank you for being patrons of the Witchlight Carnival.
Okay.
All right. So the place that they would like to meet up with you is inside of the Hall of Illusions.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So everybody is
Weird, but
yeah, it is a little weird, but bear with me. So you guys are going to head over to the Hall of Illusions, everybody together. And as Witch and Light move through the Hall of Illusions, their reflections, show them as like gloomy Shatterkai children. And they're walking with your own very youthful, jubilant reflections. And I don't think you all went in here before, so this could be a little bit weird. Apple, I don't think you went in before, did you?
To the Hall of Illusions? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I did.
You did? Okay. What about Liam?
Yeah, we all went in.
You all went in? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
I
pretty
couldn't
sure.
remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get in, and again, you're seeing your youthful reflections, and soon they call you to a halt, and the mirror now shows everyone at their true age, exactly as you appear right now. And Mr. Witch addresses you in a hushed tone, and he says, "Everything you seek, and more, lies beyond this mirror. If you mean to step through, stand in front of the glass and repeat this rhyme. Hither, tither, here and there, wander, yonder, show me where."
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And
I'll go first. Oh, you go.
No,
I recognize some of those.
we can all hold hands and do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah,
please
let's
do it.
go.
Please
Can
do
we?
it. Yeah, please do.
Yes.
Are you gonna murmur? Are you gonna mutter the rhyme?
Yeah, I'll get
Yeah.
it wrong. Let's do it.
Do it.
Hither,
You
tither,
put it in
here and
chat.
there.
Here and there, yeah.
Wander yonder, show me where.
Wander yonder, show me
Wander
where.
yonder, show me where.
All right, perfect. So as you guys say this rhyme,
My gosh.
a mist appears in the mirror and it begins to swirl, and it starts to blot out your reflection. And before you guys step through, Witch and Light have two last pieces of information. Witch says, mind the rule of 3, future, present, and past. And Light says, find the alicorn and free the dormant queen at last. And with that, they shove you through the mirror. And that is where we're going to wrap up this week. Hooray!
Hither, tither, here and there. My God. Don't ever get me to memorize anything. I'm literally the worst.
I know, and I know that this was an information heavy episode. I know that I'm sure it seemed like I was doing a lot of talking because I felt like I was doing a lot of talking, but this was
It comes in with it.
yeah, it was just a lot of information that I had to get out to you guys so we could get set up for the next part of this adventure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I tried to take some notes, but
Yeah, I was also speaking really quickly, so if you guys come across anything that you want to get some clarification on or anything like that, please let me know, and I'll send you some more of the information just in case I was talking too fast and you guys missed something or anything like that, because I do tend to speak a little quickly, so.
good. Oh, good.
All right. So, from our Halifax table of Wizards and Wine to all of you out there, the 2 of you who I think are watching today, thank you. We appreciate it. Next week we switch over to our Las Vegas table. They are in the Pixie Kingdom in the middle of an underground pixie fighting ring. And we're going to find out how we can tie that into the rest of the Witchlight Carnival. Oh dear. But we'll be back in 2 weeks with the Halifax table, and we can't wait until then. Personally, can't wait. But from all of us here at Wizards and Wine, we want to remind you to always drink responsibly, always carry that D20, because you never know when you're going to need to roll initiative. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And I need to stop this button. And I need to press this button.